Thank you for joining me in my SAP for HANA training. Right now, we will review defined tax accounts. We will be creating output VAT record. We will be creating also a record for input VAT, and we will be creating related GLs for input VAT and output VAT. So let's start off with define tax accounts. Let's use T code OB40. OB40. Alternatively, we can access this through SPRO or SIMG. Be customizing implementation guide. Click on financial accounting node, then financial accounting global settings node, then tax on sales and purchases node, and then posting node. Here we have the defined tax accounts. So again, if you want to copy the path, you just have to right mouse click and show path, and then click copy and hit enter. And now you may paste the path of define tax accounts. Let's execute define tax accounts. So here we have posting keys and posting keys for uh, output tax and input tax have a standard transactions. So let's go to position and type in the output tax transaction, which is MWS. Now this is the standard. So we have here the debit for MWS transaction that is 40, and then credit 50, and then the name output tax. For input tax, we have VST transaction. So we have similar debit and credit 40 and 50. So if we want to check the rules for the output tax, let's go back to the output tax, MWS. We just need to highlight and then check rules. So the transaction MWS has the following rules. So, so we can check if our chart of accounts is here, position, and click on my chart of accounts is ZAB2. It's not here. Double check. ZAB2. So it's not included. So what I'll do is create a new entry here at the top and fill in my chart of accounts, which is ZAB2. ZAB2. So I've added my chart of accounts in defined tax accounts. And then I will click tax code and also the CR. So if you want to check what's CR is for, just hit F1. This is country and region. You want it to be relevant to country and region. Yes. And after that, we click save and then create a new request. So let's type in define tax accounts for, or just TUK2. Okay, enter and enter. Okay, so let's get back to postings if we want to check. Let's highlight our ZAB chart of accounts and then double click accounts folder. Okay, so this is the process for ZAB to chart of accounts process for MWS output tax. We will now assign tax codes for our chart of accounts. We will click new entries. Remember we created A6, so we'll add this type of output VAT tax account in our chart of accounts A6. So A6. Oh, not mine. Okay. Let's search. Okay, let's. Okay, and then let's type in the country. Let's just put it here, GB. And then we need the GL account. So currently we haven't created a GL account for our output VAT. Let's open a new window and go to FS00 to create a new GL account. We will assign 21900. 200,000 is our payables. So since output VAT is a payable, so let's create new. Our GL type will be general GL. So balance sheet and general GL accounts. For the short text, it will be output VAT payable. Let's see. And for the same for the GL account long text. Let's scroll down. For the group account number, let's search. So I have a customized chart of accounts by GR1 specifically for my companies. So this is a payable and we will assign it to short-term liabilities. So I have created similar numbers. So that's why my GL account has the same series with my short-term liabilities. Let's go to control data, GBP. That's correct. We will assign the account to GBP currency. Under tax category, let's search for the correct category. So we can see here, output VAT is a greater than sign. Let's select that and then check or hit enter. So we have the tax category as a greater than sign. Let's scroll down. Scroll down. Let's check the open item management for account management in company code. Okay. And let's assign a sort key here. Let's search 001 for posting date. And then let's go to create bank interest tab. And here in the field status group, we will select G001, G001 general, okay, general assignment. And we will need to check this post automatically only. Okay, let's click save for our GL account 219000 output VAT. Okay, data has been saved. Let's check if we can see it in our uh, VAT output VAT creation. Let me minimize this. Okay, let's see if we can retrieve that. Let's search for it. Okay, sheet pattern 219. Okay, it's here. Output VAT payable. Okay, great. Let's add more tax code. Let's add A0 for GB country. And we will have the same GL account. We will assign the same GL account. Okay. And then let's add in A1. So these tax codes will be available for our company. So 21900, same GL account. Okay, good. And then click save. And the data was saved. Now go back and then back. And we need to change this. So let's go back once more. Okay, position. Let's go for the input VAT. So this is VST. So remember that. That's a standard. It's the MWS for output VAT. And the transaction for input VAT is VST. So hit enter and highlight the posting key and then double click rules. So let's check if our c- chart of accounts is available or has been added. There's no ZAB2, so let's create new entry. So chart of accounts, let's just maximize this so we can see it. Chart of accounts. So my chart of accounts is ZAB2 and I want the tax code and the country to be in effect. So let's hit save and then let's highlight our chart of accounts and then go to rules. Let's click first post key and then double click rules and then accounts. Okay, that's good. ZAB2 and VST and under accounts folder, let's add our tax codes. So hit entries, new entries, click that, and then we have V1 for VAT, and for the country is GB. And we need a GL account again. So we will create another GL account. Okay, let's open the other window. We will create a GL account for our input VAT. So input VAT is an asset. We will assign input VAT to 14900. like 149,149,000, and we will create new. Just double check that you have the correct company code. This is my company code 2K2, so I didn't change it. Let's start with type description, and we will be using balance sheet account, and then GL. Let type in the short text, which is input VAT. Okay, input VAT also for the GL account long text. So for the group account number, I have customized a chart of accounts for my group account number. So let's search for it and then sort by GL accounts. So this is an asset, and I've included it in uh, the prepaid assets. Okay, so in the series 1 4. Okay, let's go to control data tab. So the account currency is correct. We will need the tax category. So let's search for it and display the tax categories. So here in this section, you can see that input VAT tax account is a less than. So highlight it and click check or hit enter. Scroll down. Okay, we will need to check this, open item management, and then sort key. So I usually use posting date. Okay, let's go to create bank and interest. So the field status group would be G001, and we will need to check post automatically only. Okay, I think that's all we need. Let's click on save. So 149 GL account has been created for input VAT. Okay, let's minimize this and let's try to check if this is already available in creating input VAT. Let's sort by GL account. It is a series of 114, so my input VAT is already here. So double click. Okay, let's add more VAT. Let's add more VAT transaction code. Let's say V0, right, and that's existing. GB, and then my GL account will also want to be 14900. So I think that's it. Let's save our input VAT. So that's it. That's how we can define tax accounts.